Yes, it's actually happening. Hogwarts Legacy is getting multiplayer thanks to the power of mods, and this mod is by an extremely talented team. Remember Skyrim Together? Yes, the same team that brought us that multiplayer co-op for Skyrim is also working on the multiplayer mod for Hogwarts Legacy. But will we ever see full-blown multiplayer support for consoles? That's the question. Also, Hogwarts did the impossible versus Elden Ring. You won't believe this. And where is the official update from the dev team? Where in the world did they go? And check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway, so for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. All right, so yeah, let's get straight into the headline right here. Check it out right here. It says, Hogwarts Legacy multiplayer mod in development from Skyrim Together Reborn team. This is huge news. Take a look at what they're working on so far. They did share some early clips, very much work in progress, of two players joining up on the same server, and the animation is kind of wonky, as you could see when you witness another player roaming around, but this is just the beginning. I cannot wait to see what they further do with it. Now, it goes on to say this about the mod. It says, as reported by PC Gamer, mod maker Yamashi revealed that the focus of the mod will be on co-op and roleplay, with the goal of enabling up to 8 people to play together. So you can have quite a group of friends, it seems, on this mod. It's not going to be like a full-blown MMO, more of a co-op roleplay experience for sure. Now, it says, our aim is to figure out how to do the basics, such as spawning characters with the player's appearance, animation, and NPCs. We are not going to create any multiplayer-specific content ourselves. We want to provide a stable framework so that people can enjoy the vanilla game and maybe extend it themselves later on. So most importantly, of course, they want to be able to have it where your customization can still be seen by other players. Besides, it is role-playing, and that's going to be their goal. Now, Yamashi is currently alone on the mod, working alone on this mod, although 2 members of the Skyrim Together team are ramping up on the code base with an eye to joining the project. Now, a test build of Hogwarts, as they call it, is available to Yamashi's Patreon subscribers, but they warned that players will have to expect something very bare bones and buggy at this early stage. I want to try it. I want to see what's up with it. So yeah, check out his Patreon. Of course, I love supporting these type of projects as well. And on the side of consoles, would Hogwarts Legacy ever get full-blown multiplayer support? Well, I would not hold your breath at all. I think this is going to remain a single-player experience for the most part, or forever, until maybe Hogwarts Legacy, the sequel. Maybe, just maybe, they would consider doing co-op then, or do a spin-off style game. We'll have to wait and see what WB Games decides on that one. But let me know if you guys would like to see like a co-op-centric Hogwarts Legacy type experience, or a full-blown Hogwarts Legacy MMO spin-off type game down the road. Now, check this out right here. Hogwarts doing some wild stuff. It says Hogwarts Legacy's UK first week sales are 80% higher than Elden Ring's. It's the biggest week for any Harry Potter game in the UK. That is staggering. You know, I was expecting maybe like 20%, 30%, but not 80% compared to what the game of the year of last year. That is saying something. And this is definitely, of course, a game of the year contender for 2023. I would not be surprised if it won it. Now, check it out right here. It says this: Hogwarts Legacy is the top 4 best-selling games on Steam, hits new peak player count. This is wild, so check it out. It goes on to say Hogwarts Legacy peaked at 879,000 players on Steam on Sunday, only behind Cyberpunk for the most concurrence for a single-player game. Also behind Elden Ring, if you want to consider that mostly single-player. By the way, mentioning single-player versus multiplayer discussion, I would love to see Hogwarts Legacy have multiplayer. Also, maybe like invasions and things like that. That would be pretty cool from those of us that embrace the dark arts. Now, the article gets very interesting here. It says Cyberpunk started out with an initial mega burst of sales that resulted in these sky-high numbers, which had the game go on to sell 13.7 million copies in its first 3 weeks. However, due to the disastrous console release that followed, which resulted in the game being stripped down from the PS Store for 6 months, sales cratered after that. It took until September 2022 from the game's 2020 launch to crawl to 20 million sales total from the initial 13.7 million in 3 weeks. But given that Hogwarts Legacy has no attached bug performance-based controversies like that, we shouldn't see as major of a sales drop off here, in my opinion, at all. I think this game is going to go stronger and stronger, in fact, because of the modding scene. I think we're going to see absolutely crazy mods. We're already seeing incredible stuff being made, and to hear that multiplayer is already being conceived by modders is pretty awesome to hear. And the article goes on to say this: in all, I would predict at least 10 million sales in this initial launch period here, 20 million sales by the end of 2023. Those would be wild numbers, outpacing both Cyberpunk and Elden Ring, but the fact the game doesn't have any massive technical shortcomings to overcome, and it has the appeal of the Harry Potter IP in its corner that expands its reach beyond hardcore gamers, I believe this is possible, if not likely. Stay tuned for more. Yeah, I agree. I think that this game is easily going to go way beyond 20 million sales. Are we looking at a new Skyrim? You know, I'm curious to see if they're also going to remaster this game in the future for like PS6 and the next Xbox. I think that's going to be a thing that happens with Hogwarts as well. I would not be surprised. Now, 82% of copies sold were on PlayStation 5, while the remaining 18% were only on Xbox Series X, which is pretty staggering to see that this is a PlayStation heavy title, and they don't have any information regarding, of course, PC. I would love to know those numbers as well, but it seems like this is pretty much a PlayStation type game. Although I will say, whatever platform you're on, it doesn't matter. It seems like everyone is really enjoying it. I myself, I'm getting it on every single platform. I love this game so much. I'm willing to support the developers that much. Now, check it out right here. This is the question a lot of us are wondering. It says, is there any update regarding a PC performance patch? I've been looking around both on this sub and the game's website and Twitter, but I am unable to find any information regarding upcoming patches. Is there any news I've missed, or is there none? So yeah, we've got to talk about this. You know, the dev team have gone kind of dark, and I'm a little bit like scratching my head over this. When they have a successful title, I feel like the dev team needs to open up more and talk about future updates. Now, what we do know officially from the dev team is that we should be getting a brand new update sometime today, a patch. Either it's going to be simple or not. First and foremost, for the PlayStation, addressing certain issues with achievements and trophies and that sort of thing. But yeah, hopefully they actually announce some sort of live stream follow-up or announcement of the next big update, or talk about what they're going to be doing with future content perhaps. But let me tell you what, I'm going to keep you guys in the know about that. So if you're wondering about it, come back here. I promise you, I will keep you updated about all of this sort of stuff. And there's another interesting discussion here that Hogwarts Legacy sequel should consider a morality system. I say, why wait for a sequel? If they do an expansion, I think it would be cool if they threw that into an expansion. And it goes on to say something very interesting here, particularly about dark arts and unforgivable curses. It says, but because learning and casting unforgivable curses in Hogwarts Legacy have no effect on the game whatsoever, there is no moral high ground for players who choose not to. Instead, they simply miss out on 3 unique spells that can be powerful in certain circumstances until the end of the game anyway. Either way, players can feel free to cast unforgivable curses, and there is a catharsis in knowing that Hogwarts Legacy's gameplay options are not punitive. So I myself, I wouldn't mind to see an actual working morality system. I love how it works in Red Dead Redemption 2, and it would be cool to be able to see, you know, characters reacting to you, maybe like all scared if you went to the dark path, or maybe you're even exiled or pushed out of the school itself eventually and become an enemy of Hogwarts. That's the sort of thing that I would love to see in the future for this franchise, that sort of development with your character where you can actually pick and choose. Because a lot of you also have the opinion that the main character is a little bit too posh, too nice, and you want to be able to just be like yourself and maybe kind of like GTA things, which I think would be very interesting indeed. Now, I have to highlight something. Dunky released his video about Hogwarts Legacy. You guys have got to check this out, especially if you're kind of familiar with what's going on with Hogwarts Legacy. And yes, God, I hate to call it a controversy. I don't even think it's a controversy, but Yeah, it made me laugh so much because for me, that is how it is. That's the truth right there. So yeah, check out his video. I'm going to throw it in the description below. It's absolutely hilarious. But also, I wanted to highlight something else because we've been seeing some more negativity towards Hogwarts Legacy around the community. I prefer myself to view it as critical feedback and critique for what people want to see for the future. So I do get it. However, check it out right here. It says, let's take a step back and just be grateful for Hogwarts Legacy. I thought that was so well said, and that's how a lot of you are feeling. 2,400 upvotes right there. I mean, I'm so appreciative of this game and what they have done with it. It's just kind of like, for me personally, it's like a dream come true. And for me also, I've said it time and time again, it reminds me of Fable, which I love. Now, it's time to get into your top comment. So remember, leave a comment down below, but also check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway, so for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. So what was my most recent Hogwarts video about? Check it out right here. It goes on to say this: no way, this just happened, new updates. And yes, the video was about cut content and missing features that were recently discovered. Check out the video, let me know what you think, and if you would like those features to return to Hogwarts, maybe through DLC or in an expansion. Now, Ryan Phillips goes on to say this: really wish you could set your equipment appearance to be permanent so you don't have to change it with every new piece of gear. I 100% agree with this. It is so annoying and redundant having to constantly tell the game, no, this is what I want to wear, and go into the transmog system and, you know, change appearance every single time. It needs to be more universal and not per gear piece. I don't know why they made that decision. Maybe they're trying to do something like sets, but it's just, it doesn't work out as well, at least in my opinion. So they need to change up the system, I think. Now, Ingris goes on to say this: the option to actually rest in your dorm would be cool. I also think being able to sit down would also be cool. Lastly, a simple button to actually greet people would be cool. Now, I would love to see them to implement a system that was in Fable 2 where you can go up to anyone, play a little mini game, have fun. You could do all sorts of crazy emoticons and interaction. I know that's like a specific Fable thing, but I've always wondered, like, why aren't more games experimenting with social gameplay? Because there's a lot there that they could actually experiment with. Now, Tuco says this: sounds like there were unforeseen bugs caused by this feature of exploring Hogwarts at night. I also hope that it comes back in future DLC. I think it would be cool to see some sort of restricted type curfew system on occasion. It doesn't have to be all the time. Perhaps there's a story reason as to why the library or a portion of Hogwarts, the school itself, is in lockdown, why you should not venture outside. Make it more dangerous to play the game at nighttime, have warnings, that sort of thing. But yeah, a working curfew system, for some of you, really, you do not want that at all. You think it would actually destroy the freedom of the game. And I do get your concern with that. But I also think having some sort of system in place that's not like entirely universal, every single night it's restricted, but maybe for story reasons would make it somewhat interesting at times. Now we have Empty, who says this: your own house should have had manual sleep, storage chest, and outpost, which would make you return back to it every now and then. Nighttime at Hogwarts should have had prefects and teachers roaming around the castle and will catch you if you are seen. Yeah, again, making it a little bit interesting, more intense roaming around, and upping the difficulty maybe would like increase the punishment. I don't know what type of punishment you would dish out to players for getting caught at nighttime roaming outside of the school grounds or being caught roaming around. But yeah, that would be another thing that the developers would have to consider, of course. Let me know what type of punishments you guys think they would throw in there. If it would just be you're sent back to your room, it's considered a fail for the night, and then you have to wait until morning. Should there be some sort of punishment when it comes to your currency? Yeah, they could do some interesting things there, but of course it could become overbearing to players and not fun at all. So that's where the dev team, I think, were kind of worried, and that's why it's not in the game. But yeah, there it is, the latest happenings around Hogwarts Legacy. Stay tuned for more news and updates about this one, because I think there's going to be a lot of news about this one. I would not be surprised but they did eventually announce DLC, and I'm crossing my fingers. I really hope that we get some sort of big, high-quality expansion. But beyond that, I do think that they will be rotating eventually over to Hogwarts Legacy 2, the sequel, and perhaps they'll announce that they'll be running that one on Unreal Engine 5. And yeah, that would look absolutely beautiful. Now, the interesting thing about Hogwarts Legacy 2 is that it would most likely be a PlayStation 6 and next Xbox experience. Of course, you would probably have a crossover there with the, at that time, would be considered the old gen tech, which would be the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. But yeah, it's going to be a long time before we see any sequel. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will keep you guys in the know about Hogwarts and open world gaming goodness. Stay tuned, and I will see you all next time. Take care.